The Nuseirat is Sam Rose, Director of Planning for UNRWA. He's live from London. Thank you for being with us, Sam. So at least 2 UNRWA locations targeted in the last few days. Can you tell us more about the circumstances of these attacks first, and were there any warnings from the Israelis?
Absolutely. Thank you. Look, the attack on the school in Nuseirat happened a couple of nights ago, about 2 o'clock in the morning. 6,000 people sheltering in that school. The majority of these people, women and children. We've not been able to independently verify the casualty numbers, but we believe between 35 and 45 people killed, and there'll be higher numbers of injured as well. And we've all seen the reports from the hospital, which would appear to indicate large numbers of women and children amongst the dead. We've not been able, as UNRWA, yet to access the site after the incident. It requires proper bomb disposal and mine clearance experts to go in as part of that mission. It's not been possible yet. And like you were just hearing, again, the stories of the reports of this second attack on an UNRWA building in northern Gaza. And if those reports are indeed true, and there's no reason to believe that they're not, that it's yet another shocking attack on a UN and an UNRWA premises in Gaza. And these are protected premises under international law. It's critical that all parties to the conflict respect the humanitarian character of our premises. It's not the first time. We hope and we pray that it will be the last, but the way this war is going, we fear that it won't be.
Indeed, and we have seen repeatedly UNRWA buildings being targeted in this conflict, as our correspondent noted there. Why is that? The Israelis claim at times that Palestinian fighters have been hiding among civilians who are sheltering in these facilities.
I mean, I can't comment on Israel's military tactics, but I would agree we are seeing unprecedented levels of attacks and incidents on UN protected premises. I believe 180 UNRWA premises now in Gaza have been hit either directly or indirectly. And look, I think this is just emblematic of the unprecedented nature and scale and horror of this conflict. We've seen similar incidents in conflicts in the past, but they've been terrible, they've been tragic, they've led to civilian casualties, but not on this scale, because we've never seen a conflict of this scale or intensity in Gaza.
We of course now are looking at a situation where the humanitarian crisis in Gaza is only getting worse every day, Sam. Can you tell us about the current aid situation as you know it? How much aid has gone into Gaza in the past few days?
Getting worse than ever. We'll recall that we were on the brink of a famine 6 weeks, 2 months ago, when the last report came out from global independent famine experts. A new report is out in the next couple of weeks or so, and it's inevitable that report will show a deterioration in humanitarian conditions. We've been able to bring less aid in the last 6 weeks, really, than any time since about November, December time. And it's not just the lack or the limited volume and quantities of supplies that we've been able to bring in. It's that the population is yet again increasingly vulnerable as a result of a mass forced displacement. Over 1 million people have left Rafah in the past month, and our ability to reach them becomes increasingly difficult when they're on the move. Our networks, our infrastructure, our own staff, who are themselves affected by the displacement, have to move, have to adjust to support them.
Yeah, and it's not just a matter of stopping aid trucks from entering Gaza, is it, Sam? There are a number of obstructions that's preventing UNRWA and other aid organizations from doing their work and delivering the assistance and the aid, the humanitarian aid that these people so desperately need.
Absolutely. I mean, the only way that we will put an end to the humanitarian crisis is in Gaza, is if we're able to put an end to the conflict. Everything that we do right now in Gaza is incredibly difficult, incredibly complicated. In large part, this is due to the nature of the conflict and the fact, as your correspondent said a few minutes ago, that we're essentially seeing bombardments and operations across all areas of the Gaza Strip. This means that we have to coordinate very closely our movement with the Israeli authorities. It means that our staff are increasingly operating in extremely dangerous zones as well.
Sam, thank you so much for talking to us. Sam Rose from UNRWA, talking to us there from London. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.